Hey, gang. Well, last night the Booneville Bearcats played their final game of the season in what honestly was probably one of the worst seasons they've had in quite some time. Uh, and honestly, how in the world they got into the playoffs, I don't know, but it just seems weird to me. This whole year for the Bearcats just seems that just hasn't gone all that well. And there are some opinions as to why some people feel that the Bearcats didn't do all that well. One of them being, of course, the coach always seems to give the players the same old plays to do over and over again, and the opposing teams are catching on to this, and they can almost predict what the Bearcats are going to do. So the opposing teams pretty much know the Bearcats all too well. Another theory is that, of course, another coach theory, and it's pretty much the fact that that the coach will not let any of the other team members handle the ball who could probably, literally run with it and score more points for the team. So coach keeps making more bad decisions on who's going to get the ball, who's going to do what with the ball, and all this. The third opinion, of course, is the fact that a lot of people say that they just didn't have the team they had last year, which, quite honestly, I can imagine probably one or two members of the team that were on last year probably graduated last year, and you can only keep a good member of your team on there for so long until eventually they get too old to be in school, and you either got to let them drop out or graduate, one of the two, at the age of 20 or 21, so that kind of helps. But I have a theory as to why I think the Bearcats did so poorly this year, but I want to read off to you guys all the teams they played and how they did, and it's pretty bad. Of course, first game they played this year was against their longtime rivals, the Ozark Hillbillies, and the Ozark Hillbillies beat them here at home, 26-0. The following week, Booneville took on Dardanelle, another home game, lost 38-7. Then they went. Then they had an away game against Arkansas Baptist Little Rock and got their first victory, 14-7. Then they played against Two Rivers in Ola. Of course, there lost 40-34. And then they played Danville there, lost 64-53. They played Lamar here and lost big time, 54-7. They played Paris here for their homecoming, lost 28-21. They played Mansfield there and won 21-14. They played Charleston here and won, surprisingly, in their first home win game, 39-32. They played Lavaca there, won actually 42-27. And last night they played their first playoff game and lost to Harding Academy at Searcy and lost 53-21. Now, I have a couple of theories as to why they didn't do too well this year. One of them seems a little silly in the fact that they had a female playing on their team from what was said last year, and they were going to have her play on the team again this year, but the guys decided, oh no, we don't want a girl playing on our team again this year, so they pretty much kicked her off. And of course, guys being guys around this town, a lot of guys around this town think that, a woman should still, be put in her place and be where she's supposed to be at and all that bull crap. So yeah, we still have a lot of cavemen living around here in Booneville, which is really, really sad. But I mean, the last couple of years they didn't do all that bad. A few years ago, they won a 4A state championship and they were undefeated. And then the following year, they were knocked down to 3A because the population of Booneville dwindled down quite a bit, and it's mainly because you can't hardly find work around here. So a lot of people took off and said, we're going to go somewhere else, find work, in the whole 9 yards. So for that, Booneville went down to 3A, and did pretty good first couple of years, but this was just not their year. I mean, a record of 4-7, and somehow with a record of 4-6, they went into the playoffs. I don't know how that happened, but when I looked at Searcy's record and saw that they were 9-1, my first thought was Booneville doesn't have a chance. And they put up an effort, but wow. But my other theory as to why the Bearcats did not do all that well this year, and this sounds far-fetched, but the thing is, I believe in karma. I believe that if you do good for somebody, something good will happen to you, and hopefully something good will happen for them too. But if you do something bad to somebody, karma will get you really, really good, and, well, probably leave them alone. The thing is, sometime before school started, a young girl found out she was pregnant. And I don't know her name. I'd never found out her name. Maybe it was just for the best. And even if I did know her name, I would definitely not reveal it out of respect for the girl's family. So the thing is, she found out she was pregnant, and I guess some fellow students, friends of hers, I don't know what, I guess they found out about it, and they decided that they wanted to tease her about it and everything like that. And so for that, several weeks before school started, she took her own life, which was really unfortunate. And it kind of gets worse from there, because a couple of friends of hers went to her wake, to see her before the funeral happened, and they died in a car accident too, which was really weird for that to even happen. And I was really shocked by this. And before I even found out all this had happened, I kept seeing signs at local businesses and things like that saying, please pray for Booneville. And I didn't know what was going on. And when I talked to some people about, what's all this please pray for Booneville stuff all about, they told me what happened. And when I started to realize that was all a bunch of nonsense, I was like, why pray for this town? Why not pray for the people who lost, family members? Why not pray for the family that lost that poor girl? Why not pray for the families of the two boys who unfortunately were killed in a car accident? You don't have to pray for this whole town. This town obviously will move on and just do what it has to do. Just pray for the family that needed it, And yeah, so at the first game against the Ozark Hillbillies, I guess at a kind gesture, somebody from the Ozark side put up a big banner and brought it out onto the field where it actually said, Ozark is praying for Booneville, which obviously must not have meant anything, because Ozark just ran over Booneville and beat them 27-0. So again, when you kind of think about it, you've got a record of 4-6. 3 of those victories were away. 1 of them was at home. They couldn't get a single win at home, which was very unusual. So, yeah. So I think karma played a pretty good card in this one. And I guess for some reason, during that last home game, karma decided, you know what, let them have this one. I think they've suffered enough. But I gotta tell you, I'm not a really big Booneville Bearcat fan. I mean, I only go to the games just to go up there, hang out, run into some people, and everything like that. I'm not somebody who would chant along with everybody else and say, go Cats go, or defense and stuff like that. I barely even paid attention to the games. I just went up there to see if there was, if there was anybody I could just talk to and jibber jabber with, and just shoot the breeze for a couple of hours. But for this to happen, though, it's really weird and it's really strange, and I believe that karma had something to do with it. Who knows? I've talked to some people about my theory, and, well, some agree and others think I'm nuts. So, I don't know. So, for anybody in Booneville or from Booneville who may see this video, if you'd like to share your thoughts and opinions, I'd like to hear your comments. I'd like to read your comments down below. If anybody else out there can figure out what the heck happened to the Bearcats, or if you've had something like this happen to you and you want to share your thoughts too, hey, love to hear from you. And of course, hey, if you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. Alright, well that's going to do it for me, gang. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. As always, stay strong and rock on.